evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We'll try that again. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. Welcome to Good Beans Cafe, where we are hosting the Creative Collab Night, presented by the Creative Alliance and Flint Underground. The websites to check that out are flintunderground.org and flintca.org. If that's still up and running.
It is.
All right, my name's Al. I'm going to be hosting. Sign up sheets right here. Looks like I pretty much know everyone and feel like everyone knows it by now. All right, I'm just going to start off with the song. Wrote it recently and I'm just throwing around words and stuff, so I'm just going to use this as my practice arena.
I'm dying to know
Is this really rain? Thank you. Alright, we're gonna bring up Alex for some spoken word.
Got 3 poems for you. Might as well just go right into it. This is called All He Can Afford. He pictures the star that meshes against its dot, an acute angle that points to the west side, a decent cheeseburger away from Penn Station, and another beer entirely. In an endless stretch over the tracks between Washington and New York, a familiar glitch corrects itself every other second with the brutal shadows of abandoned buildings. 5 potato chips and a sip of ice-cold Coke outside New Jersey. Houses can't negate themselves by a refrigerator and still be the size of the living room of his parents' house where he grew up. His cat slept in a square of daylight, cast onto an oriental rug he would like to think costs nothing. Okay, take the rug away and sell it for food and be reasonable. Throw some potatoes in with some onions, and you have one of maybe a couple hundred dinners, along with that glossy, dark blue vase. Potatoes and onions. No meat or red peppers or mushrooms. And that was what he stood on at the end of those days when he did nothing but space out and talk to himself. In a lukewarm fog, unshowered, unprepared for anything other than his own art, he wondered why things had to be this way, why the windows had to face east, away from the sunset.
What you doing now?
All right.
Where basketball is played. Take the wind into consideration, factor in the rain, the hot sun, the slippery ice, and still we have ourselves a study of geometry. The principle that the ball, once in midair, carries the potential to enter the hoop, no matter how the body happened to be traveling when the ball is launched. A basketball-sized sphere remains in the center of the hoop itself, a straight line drawn down onto a flat surface, its parameters we cross irreverently. As the circles and squares remain dizzy and slipping past different angles headed toward and out from under the rim, each theory has no consequence anyway. But what about the hot shot who faces the wrong way and uses the wrong hand and still somehow manages to score? The kid escapes onto the vacant court where he feels like he's working on his game. Add this lonely one to a blacktop, its regular group of inner city kids, and we have ourselves a game. But even the dreams of these young athletes will never intercept the concentration of a stadium filled with those who gather only as the Giants play. But what about the hot shot who has gotten older, who crosses over between his legs past any defense imaginable at dusk? In a clockless world, he effortlessly spins and picks up his dribble at half court with the intention to launch. A warm night in the middle of winter, and look, the factors themselves have come out to play. I work at a thrift shop, so this is something that's inspired from my work. I just started there. This is called I Am a Woman's Shoe. A woman's shoe, not a girl's shoe. So quit looking at me like that. I ain't no girly slip-on purple shoe some princess wears for one day, then gets rid of. You better not do me like that. Believe me when I tell you there be trouble. I got Air Jordan connections. I got game too. Ankle support, dance and shimmy from side to side support. Expert double Dutch jump rope support. Running across the parking lot like a fool into the night support. These purple bands cross this silver logo for a reason, and that is how I bring it. Don't mistake me for the sparkling pair of floozy flip-flops slipped on for some stupid house party. Yeah, I guess you could say she dropped me like a bad habit, and I guess I am a little bit bitter. And now you look at me and smile like I'm some sort of joke? You don't realize how tough my hard soul is, and my bright white exterior has yet to fade, at least not all the way. So throw me in the good pile and be careful where you put that sticker. Maybe the right woman will lift me off the shelf, test the stiffness of my sides with her hands, try me on, and let me do my thing.
All right, keep it going for Alex. Very nice. All right, I believe Ashley is up here. All right, please give your undivided attention to Ashley.
This is called Almost Lover by Fine Frenzy. Fingertips across my skin, the palm tree swaying in the wind. You sang me Spanish lullabies, the sweetest sadness in your eyes, clever trick. Well, I never want to see you unhappy. I thought you'd want the same for me. Goodbye, my almost lover. Goodbye, my hopeless dreams. I'm trying not to think about you. Can't you just let me be? So long, my luckless romance. My back is turned to you. Should have known you'd bring me heartache. Almost lovers always do.
All right, give it up for Ashley.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have Gary Flynn come up here. Broadside in hand.
And the audience.
Once again, my name's Al. I'm hosting. Sign-up sheet is right here if you feel compelled to, do anything on stage. Song, dance, poetry, anything. Also, the Creative Alliance is having an event next month called Juneberry, and we're also featuring an event called The Dating Game. Okay, so this is for all singles out there who want to get involved into a dating game. If you remember the show from some time ago, basically 3 contestants.
Well, 4. There's 3.
So,
on
yeah,
one
one-
side of the divide.
One is it.
Yeah.
It gets to choose the other 3. We don't know who's hosting yet. Possibly me
Oh, really?
or
Okay.
Nick
Okay.
or someone.
Well, Nick and I were
Okay.
kind of thinking about doing it, co-hosting it,
Okay, yeah. That's
so
fine.
that
Go for
we
it.
could push the CA show.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, please, if you come up here, go ahead and grab a Juneberry/dating game flyer. And, just keep your eyes open for that.
And then you're going to be playing that night.
Yeah, and Arlozan will be playing along with Mistaken for Satellites and The Herd. Now that we all have broadsides in our hands, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, first, if you were here last month, you may recall that I had hoped that I would do what I'm doing tonight last month, but the issue was in the printer that day, and well, it finally arrived the following day. So now we can do this. Last month's Collab Nite, of course that's at the YouTube Flint Underground channel, and between last month and this month, of course, it's also on the Monday at 6, the Creative Line show on Comcast Channel 17.
6 o'clock.
Every Monday night at 6. And I record that show to see what's on. But Comcast threw me a loop because they turned off their analog signal. So that meant I had to get their digital converter box, which I hooked up to the computer so I can record the show again. I recorded the last one, which of course it was last Monday, and they had last month's Collab Nite. So I edited down that segment, so it's just me, and I uploaded it, so it's now on YouTube, and there's a link to it on my Remembering Flint, Michigan Facebook page. So you can look for that. Now for my broadside piece. Turn your broadsides to page 5 for the article I wanted to write for a long time and finally got published. And before I got here, there's an outfit, I'll mention it later on, but I mailed the tear sheet of that article to that capote maker in Ohio. Well, I hope they like it. So here's the piece called Gary and the Technicolor Dream Capote. Thank you. Recalling when you were taught early American history, you may have learned about a British trading company called the Hudson's Bay Company, which was founded on May 2nd, 1670, as the Governor and Company of Adventurers in England trading into Hudson's Bay. Michigan's coat of arms was inspired by the coat of arms of the Hudson's Bay Company, and I'll use its initials HBC to save time. The Hudson's Bay Company traded with the native peoples in North America in present-day Canada and the northern United States. The trade was usually with beaver pelts, which were traded for such goods as axes, ironware, copperware, knives, firearms, and wool blankets. Among the wool blankets the Hudson's Bay Company traded with the natives of North America was the point blanket made in England. The point blankets were available in different sizes determined by the number of short lines or points on each blanket. Records state that the 4-point blankets were standard issue for American militiamen during the Revolutionary War. Besides obvious use as sleeping blankets to keep warm during the cold winter months, point blankets were also made into clothing, whether they were worn like robes or togas or sewn into coats. French fur traders made wool blankets into long hooded coats called capotes, which the native peoples also adopted. Local Chippewa chief Naomi and his friend Flint founder Jacob Smith, who came to this area from Quebec, could have worn capotes. During the War of 1812, British soldiers on Mackinac Island used a supply of point blankets and made them into short coats, which are still called Mackinacs. Unless you frequently shop in Canada, you may be surprised that the Hudson's Bay Company still exists as North America's oldest retailer. The flagship department stores are now known simply as Hudson's Bay. The Hudson's Bay Company also owns the American department store chain Boyd & Taylor. You may also be surprised that the Hudson's Bay point blanket, sold beginning around 1780, are still available at Hudson's Bay stores throughout Canada and are still made in England. The Hudson's Bay point blanket is also available in the United States through Woolbridge, which has the exclusive license to import Hudson's Bay point blankets into the United States. While shopping at the Outlet Mall in Birch Run in 2008, I looked up the list of tenants and was surprised to see that Woolbridge operated an outlet store at what is now Birch Run Premium Outlets. When I first stopped there, I asked where their blankets were and was directed to the back of the store where they offered different varieties of blankets, including Army blankets from the Civil War era, and new Hudson's Bay 4-point blankets for full-size beds, 6-point blankets for queen-size beds, and 8-point blankets for king-size beds. They are available in different styles, but the most popular is the classic white blanket with 4 different colored stripes: green, red, yellow, and indigo. They also offer pillow shams and a smaller throw blanket. At that time, I could only afford the throw, which is now on my living room sofa. But after saving enough money, I got the classic multicolor 4-point blanket. The Woolwich Outlet store in Birch Run, the last time I was there before it closed last January, offered a 4-point blanket for $296. Obviously, the larger 6 and 8-point blankets are much more expensive. Just before Thanksgiving of 2009, I took part in an interfaith service at the Baha'i School in Davison. With the Native Americans in attendance, the service developed into a powwow. This had me thinking that I should have worn my Hudson's Bay 4-point blanket like a robe. But I realized that the thick 4-point blanket was too bulky and large to wear like that. So I thought about blanket coats such as the coats worn 200 years ago. While the Hudson's Bay Company made coats using point blanket material, they stopped making them in recent years. Fortunately, I found a place on the internet called Northwest Traders in Enon, Ohio, which offers authentic looking capote kits and blankets for reenactments. They make capotes from the blankets they sell or from what customers provide. As I held out for authenticity and for budgetary reasons, I began to scour eBay listings for Hudson's Bay 4-point blankets. I should point out that beginning in 1890, the Hudson's Bay Company's point blanket makers in England began adding labels because point blankets of similar quality were being sold by HBC competitors such as Early's of Whitney, which is now defunct, which formerly made point blankets for HBC. Learning from a book published by HBC titled The Blanket by Harold Tichenor, which was available at the now closed Woolwich Outlet store, I learned that the Hudson's Bay point blanket label evolved over the years. The first successful bid I made for a Hudson's Bay point blanket proved to be of a rare vintage from the 1930s, which has a longer nap compared to point blankets sold today. The book mentioned that the 1950s label design with a 100% wool designation was most common of older blankets, so I spent several months trying to bid on a Hudson's Bay point blanket of that vintage. I finally made a successful and affordable bid around March 2010. The blanket's green stripes were slightly faded, which gave it a satisfactory patina, but someone had sewn satin trim on the blanket, which was clearly not original. So before sending the blanket to the dry cleaner, I removed the trim, leaving the impressions where the stitching had been. After following Northwest Traders' instructions for making capote measurements, I ordered the Nor'wester style with a hood and short cape. After I sent the blanket, I was informed that along the way, someone laundered the wool blanket, making it shrink further. In the manufacturing process, point blankets are pre-shrunk to make them more dense. The finished capote arrived in early April 2010 to my complete satisfaction. As it is a one-of-a-kind coat in the Flint area, I have made it the desired coat to wear when going out during the winter months and when promoting my book, Remembering Flint, Michigan. I like to give my capote homecomings of sorts when I travel to Sarnia, Ontario. Wearing my capote, I was surprised how many nice people I meet there. The point blanket and capote are iconic to Canadian history, and I was encouraged to take part in the War of 1812 reenactments to note its bicentennial. Among those admiring my capote are First Nations members. Sarnia is home to the Amijiwang First Nation Reserve. In the Flint area, people admire how warm the coat looks, which it is. The only criticism I received was about the hood's design, so I preferred to de-emphasize the point on the hood to avoid looking too much like a Klansman. Now, the illustration on this, even though this isn't black and white on this paper, it is in color, and I've uploaded the color image on my Remembering Flint, Michigan Facebook page, and I also emailed that image. I hope. Yeah, you got it. Okay. And the piece I'm working on now, which may appear in the next broadside, is about the history of Burston Fieldhouse. I think I'll call the piece Incubator of Champions. Thank you very much.
When you were doing that reenactment of 1812 in Canada, who was winning?
I believe it was a draw, but they love to talk about burning Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, because the Canadians say that they won the war of 1812. It's how they do big advertisements about it.
Yeah.
All right, one more time for Gary Flinn. Sweet. All right, we're gonna bring a regular up here. Goes by the name of Lee. I believe he's in the back. Yeah. And I also encourage anyone to plug anything that's going on with their organization or with themselves, or anything that's going on around the city that you want people to know about. Just let people know about it.
Okay. Hayes up here. Good evening.
Good evening.
You know that's right in front of your guitar.
This in the way?
Well, I mean, in the video, it's going to be in front of your guitar. Yeah, there we go.
I just need to glance at it once in a while.
Yeah, and just that angle, you would be able to see your,
I gotta see your
fancy hand.
I've been watching your stuff on the playback again, and Jenny has such an infectious laugh.
Such
Every time she's
so nice to do
recording
that.
stuff, that comes through really good. See, she's doing it right now. Okay, got a song here. This first song was written by Chris Christopherson, probably better known in the country circles. He had his best years back in, what, Brian, the 70s probably, 60s and 70s. And this song that Chris wrote has been recorded by so many artists. Man, he must have made a ton of money off of this one. It's Bobby McGee. I don't do it all the time, so.
Janis Joplin.
Yeah, Janis Joplin had the definitive version of the song. And it'd be hard to compete with her version, for sure. I got to see her in person one time. And Janis was known for coming 2 or 3 hours late to her concerts and what have you. And, but it was worth sticking around for. And when Janis does this song, I used to listen to it, then I would think, why is she screaming and hollering at the end of the song? And then it dawned on me that Bobby McGee, if you listen to the lyrics and everything, it's not like this guy's going to see her again. It's over, you know. So she put a lot of passion into the song, and it didn't hurt that she had knocked off a fifth of Southern Comfort before she did these concerts. And I haven't had any Southern Comfort, and I'm not Janis Joplin, but I'll do what I can on it. Bobby McGee. Well, let's see, if I'm going to look at the words, I'm going to have to bring it over, Jenny, so if you don't get the guitar.
Okay.
I know I'll need the words once in
I'm
a
just trying to
while.
make it look nice for you, you know?
I appreciate
I'll
it.
just have to focus on your face.
Okay. Slide over here. Busted flat in Baton Rouge, headed for the trains, feeling just as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumped the diesel down just before it rained, headed all the way to New Orleans. I took my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana, blowing soft while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wipers clapping time, Bobby holding hands in mine. We sang every song that Trotter knew. Freedom's just another word from nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. That was good enough for me. Enough for me, Bobby McGee. From the coal mines of Kentucky to the California sun, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Standing right beside me, Lord, through everything I've done. Every night she kept me from the cold. Somewhere near Salinas, Lord, I let her slip away, searching for the home I hope she finds it. for a single yesterday, holding Bobby's body close to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. That was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. Well, I'm calling my lover, I'm calling my friend, I'm calling my lover just the best I can. I said, hey, 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 Bobby McGee. Oh Lordy, 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 Lordy. Bobby McGee. Well, I'm calling my lover, I'm calling my friend, I'm calling my lover just the best I can. I said, hey, 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 Bobby McGee. Oh Lordy, 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 Lordy. Bobby McGee, please come back to me. Please come back. Please come back, Bobby McGee. Oh Lordy, 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 Lordy. Bobby McGee. Thank you, thank you. Now let's see. Kind of in the country, every once in a while I get in these country grooves, and this song here is, well, Al and I are fans of Roger Miller. This is another song that Roger Miller wrote. I've never heard Al do it. He may be familiar with it, Old Friends. Roger wrote this when he was still a young man. I'm kind of amazed sometimes that a person that young would have this much insight. When you get to be my age, you realize the importance of old friends. Old friends, pitching pennies in the park, playing checkers till it's dark. Old friends. Old friends, old friends, looking up to watch a bird, holding arms to climb a curb. Old friends, old friends. A bird, holding arms to climb a curb. Old friends, old friends. Well, you know, as you approach a certain age, the list of real important things in your life begins to change. For most of us, that search for fortune and fame will have faded. And in its place, you'll find another basic human need. The closeness of an old friend. Old friends, pitching pennies in the park, playing checkers till it's dark. Old friends. Old friends. Thank you. Okay. Got one more here.
Got a little Roger Miller trivia. You
Yep.
remember the hamster dance?
The hamster dance?
That was the song Whistle Stop Sped Up.
Well, that's one I missed out on there.
Do you know how to do the hamster dance, Gary?
Yeah, show us a couple of steps, Gary.
Gary?
That's the melody? I'm not surprised he would write something like that because he did some wacky stuff, you know. Here's a song that was made popular by brother and sister duet, Donnie Marie Osmond, probably back in the 70s. Before that, it was done by an artist even before them, some time back. I think it was Dale and somebody. Remember that? I'm leaving it all up to you. Anyway, they had a pretty big hit with it, and it goes like this. I'm leaving it all up to you. You decide what you're gonna do. Do you want my love? Or are we through? I'm leaving it all up to you. You decide what you're gonna do. Do you want my love? Or are we through? What am I living for, if not for you? What am I living for, if not for you? You've been my only love, my whole life through. And nobody else can do. But if you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, I'll bring it on home to me. You know, I laughed when you left, but now I know I only hurt myself. I'll bring it on home to me. I'll give you jewelry and money too, and that's not all I'll do for you. Just bring it. You know I'll always be your slave till I'm dead and buried in my grave. Just bring it on home to me. Honey, if you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, I'll bring it on home to me. Cause what am I living for, if not for you? What am I living for, if not for you? You've been my only love, my whole life through. And nobody else will do. Oh, thank you. Thank you much. Okay, to unplug?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So anybody can paint on that. I'm trying to look it pretty good.
All right, keep it going for lead.
So I am here to tell you all a tale this evening. It's a tale of an old woman. She swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Then that lady, she swallowed a spider. It wriggled and jiggled and wriggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Then that lady, she swallowed a bird. How absurd, she swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch a spider that wriggled and jiggled and wriggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Then that lady, she swallowed a bird. How absurd, she swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wriggled and jiggled and wriggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Then she swallowed a cat. Imagine that, she swallowed a cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. How absurd, she swallowed the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wriggled and jiggled and wriggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Woo. Then that lady, she swallowed a dog. What a hog, she swallowed a dog. She swallowed the dog to catch the cat. Imagine that, she swallowed the cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird. How absurd, she swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch a spider that wriggled and jiggled and wriggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Then she swallowed a horse. She died, of course.
All right, give it up for Jake. All right, Brian. How do you say your last name?
Pobocik.
Pobocik. Okay. I always just skip that part. Just say Brian. Once again, my name's Al. We're here at the Creative Collab Nite. Feel free to do anything you wish. We like to pride ourselves on a very open crowd. The sign-up sheet is right here. We usually say about 15 minutes or 3 songs worth of material, whatever you have. And if you have any sort of announcements or plugs that you want to do for you as an individual or an organization you're with, feel free to do that. We also have some literature right here of things that are going on. One thing I didn't mention before, the Flint Dance Collaborative, for about the next 6 Thursdays, they're doing sort of an event at the Yoga Loft for the next 6 weeks, every Thursday. So there's some flyers right here if you're into dance and any sort of interpretive art. Anyways, I'll give the floor to Brian here.
Test. All right. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
All right. I got 3 songs in mind tonight. The first one, we're just we're in the midst, I guess, or perhaps just wrapping up prom season. And I wrote this song in 1987. 26 years ago, and it's kind of I suppose a fantasy song of some sort. I did not go to my own prom, but I wrote this about 5 years after high school, and it's kind of a plea for a young woman to dance with me, and I'm going to dedicate this song not to the woman mentioned in the song, who I modeled this song on someone who I hadn't seen in about 10 years, but rather I'm going to dedicate this to her sister Michelle. And hi Michelle. So here we go. you dance with me, Maria, on the rim of the volcano? Should you not want to, just say no. Though I really wish you would. On some South Pacific island, with the moon on the horizon, there ain't no chance in us disguising. No, I don't see how we could. Well, it's a cool October evening, with your shadow in your sandals. The stars serve us well as candles, and I'm caught without a word. But your breath, it sets a rhythm. Our ship's wrecked way out in the coral. I'm feeling a little immoral. My request may seem absurd. Would you dance with me, Maria, on the rim of the volcano? Should you not want to, then say no. I really wish you would. Let's see, no more of those. Okay, I've been playing out locally for about 22 years. And before that, I've been, playing handing out little tapes to friends and stuff like that. So I've been writing songs for about 35 years now. And in terms of categorization in that span of time, I've seen a lot of changes go on locally. And I just, I try to throw all the genres and everything out the window, and I just call myself a songwriter. Once in a while, the term folk singer comes up. And I don't dislike the name, but I have a connotation of what a folk singer is, and I don't think I necessarily fit that connotation. One thing is that a lot of the modern, or the folk singers that get the bookings and everything, they tend to write warm fuzzy songs. And I have no problem with writing warm fuzzy songs, but as a writer, I like to explore all kinds of tones as a songwriter. And I'm in a room right now with a lot of creative people, and I know you can all relate to that because, you can explore all kinds of stuff, as an artist. You don't even have to keep it on the canvas. You can go wander off and do all kinds of things. So this song is not an upbeat song, and it's about, I'm going to dedicate this to my sister. It's kind of about the home we lived in. It's called House of Snakes. God bless the vermin we require for food. Keep us in ignorance, keep our means crude. Fattening frogs for snakes, with serpents on the prowl. We make friends with no one, and we all fear the owl. In a house of snakes, in a house of snakes, fear the wisdom of the owl in a house of snakes. There's no communication. This house stands accursed. We just sit and stare at one another wonder who's gonna strike first. We don't care about the others' thoughts. We don't give a damn about their feelings. We just wrap ourselves inside these walls, barricade the doors and ceilings. In a house of snakes. In a house of snakes. You don't trust no one in a house of snakes. From the fountains of fortune to the mountains of mist, no matter whose trouble you're torching, you better keep one free fist. 'Cause in a nest full of snakes, you keep up on all the papers, with one eye glued to yesterday's news and the other one on your neighbor. In a house of snakes. In a house of snakes. You don't trust no one in a house of snakes. You can praise us, you can kid us, criticize at your own risk if you like. This is survival of the fittest, and you can never tell when we'll strike. Electricity travels at its own chosen speed, but we don't measure it none, we just take all we need. And all the excess energy is stored for future events, as when someone rubs us the wrong way, it's released at their expense. In a house of snakes. In a house of snakes. Real angry in a house of snakes.
Yeah.
You know, for this last song, I may need my low-tech prompter. Anyway,
What?
whatever the visual is.
Oh, that thing, no, because it's above below your guitar.
Okay. This under the auspices of Collab Nite. So I wrote this song. I don't think the person I wrote this song with has any idea that I've actually written the song. And this goes back 25 years ago. I handed out a little vanity cassette of my recordings, maybe about 24 copies, and including giving one to her, my friend Janet. And she responded by kind of writing a little critique, and she offers some suggested lyrics. And yeah. So I took those and I adapted those. About 2 years later, I wrote a song, but I didn't really do an awful lot with it. So anyway, this song is called Reaching for the Top, and all but a few of these lyrics, most of this was written by my friend Janet Reitenberg. Everybody's got their own private demons. Cast them loose all night, they come back screaming. Well, I'll get along all by myself, but it sure feels good when you help. Oh, it feels good when you help. I don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'll end up, not even sure that I'll make it. Maybe I'll need a little luck, and I don't know if I'll find what I'm after. Behind the tears, behind the laughter, I'll keep searching maybes and ifs, chasing gold and the rainbow shifts, chasing gold and that rainbow shifts on. Times it seems a great struggle, even take one forward step, and if what I find is not what I have in mind, I'm convinced that I'll be a success. Set myself apart from the rest, not to stop, not to ever let up. What have I got to lose? What have I got to lose? Reach for the top. No, I'm not just passing through, I'm reaching for the top. Reach for the top. Reaching, I'm reaching, I'm reaching, reaching out for you. I don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'll end up, not even sure if I will make it, but I won't stop, won't ever let up. I won't stop, won't ever let up. Reach for the top. No, I'm not just reaching for the top. Reach for the top. Reaching, I'm reaching, I'm reaching, reaching out for you.
For darkness rule what is good, and good is only a prisoner inside that darkness. So come with me on that journey, a journey far off in time, where there is demons, prophets, warriors, monks, ancient gods, wizards and goddesses, and other divine and exciting beings. Come in. I'm a prophet, and I came here to prophet these things because the truth about the birth of the creation of the world has never been unfolded. Instead, the Bible says that God created the earth, then He created man. But God only wanted what He wanted for this generation. Man never knew his true form of existence, because no one knew God's true meaning of what He wanted, what all this meant. So God put everything He had created in what He didn't really want to be understood by the Bible, because the Bible says so many things about what He wanted for us, when all along He didn't even need us, because we're going to die and go back to where we came, and that's back to dirt, back to sin, back to darkness. And when we die, his soul, when man died, his soul will drift to other worlds and never return this way again. But God is watching everything. He is getting ready to return and build a new civilization. Okay, I'm gonna read this story right here about the gods. They ain't very long. Okay, the barrier down to time has 1,000 tests of faith, which is a deception to the mentality of the world. People are changing, and the moral thing that this civilization has become an innermost deception of them all, because nothing is guaranteed to us anymore. We're like angels. We know not which our glamorous experience would develop for a new beginning of things. I'm gonna read something out, that's too deep. I'm gonna read the birth. The birth of the creation of the world revolved through millions of years ago before the birth of Christ. God's Spirit drifted across the channels of civilization. He had dreamed of creating the earth. Now this is the birth of the earth. This is when before God created the earth, and when God was created, and the Father had created him. Okay, he had dreamed of creating the earth, but didn't really pay it much of attention because he had so many other things to do. He started creating it over and over again, but nothing turned out right. He waited months before he decided to go back and try it again. So one day, while darkening covered the universe, he came upon a thought and said, I should create the earth and fill it full of life. Butterflies, snakes, dogs, birds, monkeys, frogs, and other creatures which were free of sin and had done no wrong in my sight. So God created the earth and he blessed it. God created not just one man, but many of them and spread them all over across the earth to multiply and to grow and to become faithful. He worked hard to finish creating the earth. But wasn't good because things got out of hand. And everything became evil, and there was sin in the earth. This happened at the intensified moment in time when God wanted to cherish what he had created. The thing that was forming inside God, the thing that was forming inside God very much, it made him sad, and he didn't really want to end his creation because God loved it what he had done when he had created the earth. He clinged to his feelings every day. He thought a way of making things better, but the world remained filled with sin. I didn't finish it. It was too deep. This is not really a good one. This is one right here, the giving. The giving. To be immortal means that your soul will live on for eternity and drift to some other destination deep off in time in some other place. This is the given barrier of immortality created by faith. Because if the soul become powerful, it could master its own destiny. It will sacrifice the task of its creation and become a formation deeper than reality. And reality will then master her own destination when crossing over to the other side. The soul is gifted. The soul is a gift created by God. But it can't rule nothing. It can't control nothing. But it can drift across civilization and find freedom. Because God didn't create a soul just to create it, but he gave that soul a destiny. And that destiny had become dominated through time. The giving deception of all this is raw like magic, like a magic image of life seen in vision across civilization deep off in time. The soul was born holy, and God blessed it and gave it a formation that would change history, and man would become an empire of that development. Because God Because when God created the world, He created man. He gave a man a soul. And that soul became a part of man over 10,000 years ago. There was legend about this all across civilization long before time began, and man wasn't even thought to be man.
All right, give it up for Harrison. All right, we're gonna keep it going with Jay Demus. He's got his bagel.
I got my bagel and everything. I just want to eat. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. My name is Peter Campbell, aka J Demus, and I've heard about Creative Alliance, and I just wanted to use this opportunity to introduce you guys to my radio show.
Woo, cool.
It's called Jay's Reggae Unlocked.
Okay.
It's on 94.3 FM. And basically, I'm a student, an international student that goes to University of Michigan, Flint. I'm from Jamaica. And I've lived here about 8 years now. Came here when I was 17. And I've always experienced the American culture, do everything, like, you know, I have a lot of friends that's from America and also from other international countries, but I've never introduced my culture to you guys. And I know, like, the reggae, a lot of people listen to reggae music, they like reggae music, and I was like, this is a good opportunity here in Flint, where it's not big, to try and, you know, start something. So I started working with Kettering University, and they gave me a little time slot to promote reggae music and, you know, just introduce myself and, you know.
Yeah.
And they told me that Creative Alliance is a good way to network. So this is what I want to do right now, is just to network and let people know about my radio show. All right, so basically the radio show is with me, myself, J Demus, and I have my co-host, Jeno. They couldn't make it out today. And I also have a DJ that played the music and everything. And we just play reggae music, have a little talk. We have this session called Real Talk, like a 5-minute segment where we just talk about whatever is going on. Like, somebody come up with a topic and we give our opinion. Like, the first one was, because it was Valentine's week, we had like a Valentine's Day talk, and we just gave our opinion on Valentine's Day. I personally told him I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because I don't think there should be a specific day for us to show how much we love. If it was up to me, I would show how much I love my wife, my significant other, every day. And, like, you know, then they explained to me that there needs to be a day for people to realize and remember that, hey, you love this person. I was like, okay, like, you know, just little stuff like that. But I like everything that goes on here. I'm also a songwriter and not a very good singer. I decided, okay, I'm gonna try and perform with you guys today. I'm not a very shy person, so I'm just gonna give you guys a little thing that I wrote. All right, all right. The first piece is called "Work for It." When I write my songs, I write them based on inspiration and just like how I was feeling that day. And it's called "Work for It." You might not understand everything, but I'm gonna go for it. Try to get a little beat. Alright. I'm the kind of brother who just keep my cool when they're acting tough and being a fool. I'm the kind of brother who rather chase my dream and write a tune. If you know what I mean, in this day and age, I have to focus and just do my thing and don't give up. Like Martin Luther, I had a dream, but the difference with him and I sleep. Me just I work for it, me just I work for it, me just I work for it, me just I work for it. So just pray for me, just pray for me, just pray for me, just pray for me. Come here, go work to it, me just I work to it till every minute of the day me get a bread for it. So just pray for me, just pray for me. Because one of these two gonna be the make of me. Yo, she's the kind of sister, she a study her book. I that the way she a look, I that she want to achieve. She a make the green for her family. So to be a doc, I that she have to believe in this day and age. Yo, she have to focus and just do her thing and don't give up. Like Martin Luther, she had a dream, but the difference with her, she not see. She does a work to it, she does a work to it, she does does a work to it, she does a work to it. So just pray for her, just pray for her, just pray for her, just pray for her. Cause she a work to it, she does a work to it. Till every minute of the day she get her bread for it. So just pray for her, just pray for her. Because one of these books will be the maker of her. It's different, but I don't know if you guys understand what I was saying. Like the first verse I was talking about like myself, and like I have a dream and like I'm writing a song, and like I'm just gonna work to it until I make it, and you guys just pray for me. And the second verse was about a girl. She's in school, she's studying, and like she wants to be a doctor, and her dream is to make the money for her family. So she's just working for it, and just pray for her. And I have a lot of songs. I've never performed them in front of people before, but I'm like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. All right, this one is called Bickle. In Jamaica, Bickle means food, and like when I was younger, we used to record and write songs, and every time we were in the studio, there would always be food cooking. And the guy that was in the studio, he was like, oh my God, what is this, Bickle Entertainment? Like, is this a Bickle production? Like, so I've always stick to the name. So, here it goes. Long life and prosperity is all me praying. For my mother and my father and all his children. For my sister's children and my brother's children. Don't know what the future bringing, so that's why me singing. More want to sow a seed, where I go reap the corn. So me can live a better life and no one will starve. The youths them out there hungry and them out there hunting. Them me need a something and them out there chanting Bickle, Bickle, because the youths I'm hungry. Them want to hear good music, where I go create a healing. Bickle, Bickle, praying for better days, praying for better nights. That time me realize Bickle, Bickle, because the youths I'm hungry. Them want to hear good music, where I create a healing. Bickle, Bickle, praying for better days. Bickle, Bickle, praying for better nights. Let me tell you a story about this youth America. More want to make some music when me think I heal the nation. The music of the Savior, the one and only great one. Cause more time when me hungry, him me can depend on. Is that the one me go a road, the beat a gun, drive by, hit and run. They know my brother, uncle, son, and John. No, it ain't no fun from both ways. The shot a come, know when the turn a come, and it's only cause the people want Bickle, Bickle. So give the people what them want, so them can want to make a chance take. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm so nervous right now.
You're ripping it up.
Alright, let me see if I can think of another one. Alright, this one. First time. Everybody always tell me that it's good. I wrote this song. I used to date this girl, and we broke up. And like my sister and I was talking, and I told her that she found a new boyfriend, and she just said something to me like, she's like, it makes me wonder like how she actually felt, and I wrote a song about it. So here. It makes me wonder how you actually felt. Yes, you played this one well and acted like you did care. It makes me wonder, oh, now you look like a fool after the love I showed you, and you went and broke all the rules. It makes me wonder, 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 wonder. All this time, girl, you told me lies, telling me everything was gonna be alright. How come I never see it in your eyes? Baby, you're not the one for me. I said they told me once, they told me twice. Don't trust this girl cause she's only acting nice. But I was stubborn, now I gotta pay the price. Baby, you're not the one for me. It makes me wonder how you did that shit to me. After a couple months now, girl, you wanna see that I was real and I'm the one to keep. Baby, you're not the one for me. I know you all alone with no one to hold. I can't trust nobody, now my heart is not cold. Don't tell me sorry, girl, it's getting old. Baby, you're not the one for me. It makes me wonder how you actually felt. Yes, you played this one well and acted like you did care. It makes me wonder, oh, now you look like a fool after the love I showed you, and you went and broke all the rules. It makes me wonder, 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 wonder. Anyways, just want to say thanks for the opportunity, and if you guys ever get a chance to like check out the radio show, it's on 94.3 FM. It's at Kettering University, and it's every Tuesdays at 3 p.m. And also, if you can check out the web on Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It's called it's www.facebook.com/JaysReggaeOnLock. So if you ever get an opportunity, check it out and like the page and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely come back.
Give me a caption.
Okay.
Put a caption under there with your website.
Okay. On the video. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, give it up one more time for Jay. Awesome. So yeah, Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Tune in to 94.3 WKUF Kettering Radio. Mikey in the back. All right, we're gonna bring another newcomer up here. Have you played here before, Mikey? All right. First time.
If he's not using that thing, can we move it? Thank you.
Hello. It's my first time here.
Yeah.
Liking it. Liking all the cool talent. But I'm just gonna play one of my own here. It's called Serpent Stories. Whispered me and walked through the fire. You painted your eyes, but you haven't changed a bit. You still flow like a feather, it's lying in the wind. And all of the while, kept my thoughts to myself while the snakes curl up in my bed. I was wondering. Some sort of silence. And I waited around for an hour at best. 2 dandelions still strapped to my belt. Tongue of a snake so close to mine told me stories held me tight. She stood blinded with cloth in her eyes, facing the silence of the firing line. 2 dandelions still held in her hands. Shots rang out in the mountain red. surrounded by every thief and all the while you dance and dance around. You painted your eyes, but you haven't changed a bit. You still flow like a failure, lying in the wind. And all of the while kept a smile on my face while a snake curled up in my bed. You see it around for an hour at best. Two dandelions still strapped to my best. Torn snakes so close to my, 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 my. White sheets, black concrete. Yeah, black and white sheets, black concrete. Stole my love from the bottom of my head. Stole my love from the bottom of my head. Sheets, blonde concrete.
And if you like this stuff, we're playing at the Flint Local this Friday. Our band's Brown Sugar.
Great.
Actually, my friend in the back's playing with me.
Great.
He's pretty cool. Just a second. I'm gonna try a half-baked song for you. I like to bring really broken up songs to crowds and see how they write themselves usually when you bring them in front of people. So if it sucks, that's why. It's called Paradelia. At my window, the birds in my bed, they never sing a song, they're only in my head. The finger paint the skyline with paradilias. Hope someday you'll see them and send me your love. Send me your And all my life I've been waiting. All my life I've been waiting.
nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all, only sparks. Nothing at all, nothing at all. The bullet is my brother, he's for killing men. No matter what he wants, or what the future is. And I draw a pair of dillies in the skyline, and hope someday you'll see them and draw summer night in your paintings, paintings, paintings. So all my life I've been waiting, all my life I've been waiting. Nothing at all, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Thank you. That went alright. Went alright.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you for helping me make that. Sorry, I have very picky guitar tunes. Is that right if I do one more?
Yeah, yes, please.
Awesome. Again, if you want some flyers for my Friday, the show this Friday, up at the Flint local, they're right in the back. I can give you some. Here's one we'll actually be playing this Friday.
One more hour, one more soul to feed the flowers. Oh, one more hour. I sent you a gift. You blew back roses in the shape of ashes. And I try to keep on, but there's time for only one. Yeah. To wake this morning to know that yesterday was only a warning. To rise to my feet, to know that they still stand for something. Like smoke in the wind, disaster on somebody else's hands. to recall my name, to know that it still stands for something. In the shape of ashes, and I said, am I enough to suit your fancy? Should I collect the ashes and lay them before your feet? Is my vase still half empty? Should I lay on the streets? 'Cause I'm in no rush, no rush. So don't run, don't run. To wake this morning, to know that yesterday was only a warning.
Thank you all for coming out here, and I'll definitely be coming out here more often. This is really cool.
So, before I start, you guys know about this thing? This Junebreeze thing? Did they tell you? The Junebreeze thing, there's gonna be next art walk, that's June 14th at the Churchill's Bar and Grill from 6 to 2 a.m.
Including a dating game hosted by Jenny and myself. And we're still looking for contestants if you're single and you want to have some fun and maybe win a date. To the lunch studio for free for the internet. You know, you can still sign up for that. If not, you should definitely come on out. We got multi-clowns, we got Arlo Zan, we got the Herd. Yeah, thank you. Mistaken for Satellites. Definitely worth checking out.
Vintage vendors.
Vintage vendors.
And art.
That's gonna be a great time right there. And also, if you guys don't make it out to a local, which I highly recommend you do, but if you don't, this Friday, I'm putting on a little thing at Buckham Gallery from 7 to 9. It is a poetry open mic, so it's a little different from the music game. We're not completing it, you know, not competing just yet. And 7 to 9 is free, except by donation, going to support Buckham Gallery. It's free coffee and poetry welcome. So reading tonight, I'm artist in residence for the 4th Ward, trying to be part of the master plan and kind of interpret people's views to get them into the master plan in an artistic way, if that makes sense. I'm doing poetry. These are a few poems that I started writing based on people's responses, and you guys can tell me if they're any good. The only way I ever know is if I perform them in public and either embarrass myself or do well. So you guys can help me figuring that out with either applause or whatever, if you think it's done or whatever. So I'll just read one real quick to give you an idea. This is a response somebody talking about, so the 4th Ward's the Far East Side, all the scrapyards, Lowell School, Washington that's closing, AC. This is about Lowell School in the Franklin Avenue Business District. What if we finally demolished Lowell and all the other dilapidated businesses along Franklin? Instead of adding to the landfills though, what if residents were giving salvaged bricks from torn out buildings like seeds saved from a wilted garden and gave themselves permission to pave new paths through the vacant lots? Would this change the East Side? Would people feel less distant and alone? Would they feel safer without empty and open buildings for drug users and prostitutes to congregate around? Most people agree that these sites need to be cleaned up or dug out. What if in the process a new link was created between the northeast sides of town and the cultural center? What if we let each resident take an active part in the city's renewal instead of just its destruction? Wouldn't something I made be something I would advocate to protect? Wouldn't we all feel more hopeful and excited to proclaim I'm from Flint if being here meant you had a hand in saving or at least healing it? So yeah, they're not like perfect poems, but I'm trying to take what these people give me and the extent of what they give me and use all of it.
That's great.
So yeah, just bear with me here. I'll read one more before I embarrass myself too much.
I was there.
Do you guys know what a ghazal is? Ooh, I'm gonna teach you some stuff about poetry. A ghazal is a form of poetry that's between, I think it's 5 to 12 couplet lines. Each couplet can stand by itself or go into one larger piece, and they're kind of like abstract type things. This is based on the response by Councilman Josh Greenman of the 4th Ward. It is a ghazal. The future demands a proactive approach to fighting crime. The reactive detective methods aren't working. The city needs to enforce its own codes and target the blight and abandoned properties that are infecting neighborhoods and mentalities. Our business districts are falling apart and our citizens are living in the past. Flint needs to accept what has been lost and make it work. When people begin to actively be involved in their community and commit to themselves, the urban ecosystem will recover. We need to stop looking backwards and accept that Flint in 1955 will only vaguely resemble Flint in 2055, and that is a blessing in itself, I've noticed. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna start myself on that one. And I'll read you one of my more traditional poems about the East Side, if I can remember it like that. It's called Ruined Porn, and it ironically takes that terminology and does stuff with it. It goes like this. Perverts treat posted properties like prostitutes. Scrappers are sadists, prying off siding like wrinkled panties heaped across slutty truck beds. Up the street, exploding houses surge with horror and amazement in the ecstasy of gaslight fingering. The East Side's horny hunger strokes hard through no-ho zones, trading copper for money shots. Behind the rain-soaked blinds, walls been ripped down and ravaged by desperate Johns trying to keep up with the Joneses, drooling over curl-toe, clawfoot tubs and air ducts forced to give blowjobs. That's all I remember of that. Thank you.
That is a good one.
Left you on a cliffhanger.
He was thinking
one
too
more,
hard.
I'll try to complete it this time. Is that okay? Does anyone else want to go? I'm just wasting time here. I would love if you read something silly. I will read one more short, silly thing before you do that. And it will be this time. I only go for girls with dry wit and sad arson hearts. The ones I date lick lips, dragging Zippo clicks across their chests, playfully threatening to go through with it, and I'm a fool. I'm a fool for that. I'm just some product of my environment. I'm not the girls that nibble on their fingertips determined to sit because the future's stamped with hopelessness. No, I'm down with the defiant chicks that phoenix out when faced with foreclosure or having their copper dresses stripped. I've learned not all of us can be fixed, but I'm stuck on girls that repossess their own destinies. Even if that means the whole squatting Inferno, Romeo, Juliet, Poison Dagger thing. I've spent dizzying nights with girls who giggle about their crumbling lipstick architecture in the bitter Michigan winter, wondering if a little fire will bring them clarity. As a kid, I dreamt about fixing the derelict buildings in my Midwestern city, all of which have since been erased by fire, work crews, or misery. I knew nothing about CPs or girls and less about the real world, but I've known the sharp pain of heartbreak and disappointment well enough by now that it really phases me. Sometimes I've seen you have to sacrifice a house full of dreams to find your real home, even if that means setting up camp on a patch of new grass and reimagining. Thanks.
Woo. Yeah.
That'd be silly.
It might be silly or make you sad. One of the two. Okay, so this is something I wrote, and it is about a person that I met while I was living in Arkansas. So this is true, but it seems truly outrageous. Okay. I was surprised with wide eyes when they told me he was a widow. After all, I had known him and known about him. After all, he was only in his mid-20s. And when they told me, I reminded them of his wife. And his wife and her boyfriend she had run away with had been murdered. And this all had something to do with drugs in some sunny beach town. My mind ran in unimaginable circles because he was the kind of person things like murder do not happen to. I know we always say that, and after all, he had been raised by Mennonites. and he dressed like Mr. Rogers and was currently working as an elementary school bus driver. When he asked me out on a date, he was standing in the ticket booth wearing a bow tie. Intriguing, I thought. How expected, as he drove up in a station wagon, and of course, it had a spoiler and a sunroof, which the wind rushed in, messing up my hair, and as we drove to the biker bar where he introduced me to the other bus drivers, they wore leather and cowboy hats. And he told me he was an honorary member of their biker gang. I laughed, because that's what you do. And what do you say when you are standing there reminding a widow of their dead wife? But later that night, I became myself again as he handed me one of the worst pieces of literature I'd ever read. It was his. There were so many things to be said, yet nothing came to mind. Do you have a favorite writer? Do you read? No, he said, as I pulled a copy of The Catcher in the Rye from my purse, saying, "You must have read this." No. I forced it into his hands. Have you read Of Mice and Men? No. Animal Farm? No. The Bell Jar? No. Portrait of the Artist? As I Lay Dying, or any other of the books that I love? No. Endlessly, no. Plastic framed glasses, wine glasses, fancy pens, yellow legal pads, man bags, vintage typewriters, and cardigan sweaters do not make you a writer. Nothing makes you up for reading a few good books. Yes. Yes.
No, I didn't bring a dog story this month. I thought you all were tired of the dog story.
We love dogs.
I didn't bring it. I left it home. So I wasn't tempted. Is anybody else gonna do anything?
Open mic.
We got an hour, man. Do the hamster dance. Where's Gary at? Oh.
You look like you're itching to do something.
No, I'm doing
No.
Oh, well.
Oh, you want to sing?
I said I would sing it, but I didn't want to put up with me. And then it's like,
Oh, you want to sing? Oh, she said she'd sing. Jesse?
Yeah.
Hi. So I once again don't have anyone to play the instruments for me. So I'm going to sing a song by Kimbra. It's called Settle Down. Bum, 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 bum. Won't you settle down? Won't you settle down? Won't you raise a child with me? Raise a child. I wanna wine and dine with you. Won't you settle down? We can play at a table for two. Wine and dine with me. Won't you settle down? She's got a fancy car. She wants to take you far from the city lights bright. Won't you settle down? Won't you settle down with me? Bum, bum, bum.
That was great. That was wonderful.
He says I can't sing. We can have like a collective performance of mumbling amongst ourselves.
Yeah, is that it? Should I turn this off now?
I just want to try to recap what everyone has been sort of plugging and stuff like that. Just got Jamboree coming up next month, June 14th. It's also a dating game for all the single people. There's also a dance collaborative for the next 6 Thursdays at the Yoga Loft. So check that out. Friday at the local, go check out Brown Sugar. I think that's about it.
Woo!
All right, thank you all. Make sure you give your love to Ken on the way out, and try to look around and pick up some trash that you see. Other than that, thank you for a pleasant evening. Every month we're here every third Wednesday from 7 to 10, so tell your friends. All right, have a good night.